gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of PZ85 Plays on the Podzilla 1985 Network. My name is Cody Sandusky. I am your Dungeon Master, and despite the best efforts of this motley crew, we are back in Barovia for the Curse of Strahd campaign. Our noble adventurers have made their way through the manor in which they've resided. They've found themselves a safe-ish place to rest, but now they have a set of stairs, and to their knowledge, they go down. Who's going down these stairs? We'll start in my order. Above me on my screen is Rasmus Thomason, played by Double H.
Hey, that's me. I stole Jesse's thing, kind of.
Yeah. It works well enough.
Fine.
Next up in my order, playing our resident Jinn adjacent, it is Lindsay Wolfgong.
I survived level 1.
Yes, you did. Now we will see if level 2 is just as kind. The man himself playing Old Red the Ranger. It is Tanner Calvert.
Hey, he keeps calling me Old Red, and I feel like I'm looking. Wait, I'm a coonhound out in the swamp, hunting down somebody who escaped jail.
Yeah,
literally no one who listens to this knows that bit.
I know that bit. I listened to that song 3 days ago.
You don't listen to this show, you're on it. Anyway.
Those are the only two Blake Shelton songs I care about, is Old Red and Austin. Because I am old. The man below Tanner on my screen is playing the one man not in our D&D Beyond campaign. It is Aiden Valmont, trademark restricted, copywritten. The owner of Podzilla 1985, Shannon Young.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right, great. And our man in the middle, so to speak, it is Kaz playing Bjorn, the Blood Hunter Extraordinaire.
The ice in my whiskey has turned into a Death Star.
Well, you guys can't hear what sounded like 1,000 chihuahuas barking upstairs, but it was actually Lindsay laughing, and it echoed through the house.
Oh, don't worry. You'll hear dogs barking lightly.
It was probably that random, too.
Yeah. It was out of nowhere. It's that random, too.
I know they can't see it. This is a great gag for the audio podcast, but what is going on with your hair? You pulled those headphones back, and it has just gone out of control.
Because the boy doesn't brush his hair.
He's just shaking violently right now.
There's a family trait going on with the foreheads. Look at that.
I'm trying to get him to stop drinking because he just took a shot and I made him laugh and it went through his nose, and I know that burned like hell.
That fucking sucked.
Yeah. Well, you said you liked that burn.
Not when it's going up my throat.
Damnest thing.
How gravity works.
All right, while Lindsay corrals the cat away from the Pokeballs, I believe, when last we saw our adventurers, they had barricaded themselves in a room on the top floor of the manor. Excuse me as I try to hiccup here. Everybody seemed to have gotten a restful night as you traded shifts. I'll go ahead and just breeze through that portion. You guys, in as much as you're able to tell outside that window, it is daytime, and you have had at least some restful night. So you can reset to go into what is off-screen character development. Everybody's leveled up to level 2 now. And so now I cannot wait for something like a single iced method or something to murder them all, because that's how things go. You level up, you're 2 points beefier, and then cut everybody down.
I'm like 5 points beefier.
Yeah, no, most of you went up. I guess for those at home.
I think I went up by 7, man, because I only had like 8 or 9 hit points. I have 15 now.
I only had 9. I went up to 16, yeah.
You guys are
22. Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, Kaz is at 22, Tanner's at 18, Rasmus is at 15, Lindsay's at 16.
And again,
Aiden, what are you at?
We're constantly dying anyway.
Am I not in the thing? Because I can roll for the thing. I'm 22.
You can roll on your character.
You're not
sheet.
in the
campaign. You didn't go in the campaign.
Which I will once more with gusto paste it into the text only for babies. If you want to click on that link and drop your character in there, because that way we would all be in the campaign.
Okay.
Not that it impacts too much other than I can see your character sheet. But now that we've leveled up, I know we asked about it off screen, but I'll do it on screen for the matter of continuity. Does anybody have any questions before we dive into this session?
I have a very obtuse one in a way. How much fun can I have with the trail rations? Because I think it'd be cool if I had like some dried coffee or something, so I could make coffee in the morning. I mean, do you really care? Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like,
Well, I mean,
how flavorful can I make it here?
I mean,
No
I
pun
love
intended.
that you have Sacred Flame as a cantrip. Sure, if you got a metal container, you can make coffee to your heart's desire, bud.
Well, I mean, we've got a fire going. I'm talking about, like, okay, trail rations rules is written
Right,
say
it's
that
just
they're like nuts
trail
and
mix.
jerky and that kind of stuff. Like, can
Yeah.
I have some dried coffee in that? Can I have like
Yes.
some coffee ground?
Yes, you may.
All right. Thank you.
Cody.
Thank you. The DM is generous tonight.
I
Woohoo.
require more information.
Do you? What is the information you require?
Would you like to know more?
Click here for more info.
That's a good movie.
If Lindsay's character doesn't win the game, I'm going to kill myself live on the air.
Jen, stop saying that.
Facebook will delist us, our Bud Dwyer.
Well, so much for Strahd. Thanks, everybody. It's been good.
Bart Harley Jarvis.
Fuck you, Harley Jarvis.
No, get him out of here.
No. We will not be having this tonight. No, thank you.
So
Good
if we're jumping into it, then as soon as I like rise in the morning, as early as I managed, and I would imagine is relatively early, like whatever the Barovian equivalent of 6 is, in terms of circadian rhythms and all that.
Yeah.
Rasmus is gonna start like 10 cup, like making coffee on the fireplace there, like cowboy style. Just set it right on top of the wood burning stove.
Yeah. I should acknowledge that I appreciate you bringing that up because Barovia doesn't really have much in the way of true sunlight. By level 5, you guys are going to be perpetually at level 3 of exhaustion because you have no circadian rhythm. You're just waking up at 2 a.m.
I barely have any blood left. Have you seen my chest?
I have allegedly seen your chest.
I like
don't
that
wish
Kaz
it's more
said that
further.
at the time that I just noticed that he's got like a fucking Gandalf pipe
Yep.
there. Just came out of nowhere.
Having himself a grand old time there, bud.
Oh my god, it's
I
chaos.
don't know
All
what
right,
to tell
yeah.
you, bud.
Yeah, Rasmus is making coffee. That's how
Okay.
I'm getting up.
Rasmus is making coffee.
That's in character, by the way.
That's a
Okay.
cat, bud.
Steaming it.
The rest of you rousted up by the smell of coffee or anything therein, or what's the rest of the
Yeah,
Red's
sure.
gonna smell it, look at him and go, that stunts your growth.
Rasmus is like half asleep still, kind of, because he hasn't had it yet. So he's gonna kind of look you up and down and go, and clearly you enjoy decaf.
Man. Well, that leaves one Birdman extraordinaire, Aiden Velmont. What are you doing?
Birdman!
Attorney at law. Yes.
That's right.
Go watch the Better Call Saul finale. I heard it was fantastic. No spoilers here. Anyway, I said no spoilers, Tanner.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna wake up with the group and
Okay.
enjoy some coffee.
All right. Well, at least for the area you are in, this room that you have, I imagine that the square still on the screen, you guys have still barricaded the door. There's no sounds of activity that you can tell. The ominous presence you had felt going through this initial part of the building, at least when secluded, is dissipated a bit. Barovia, as you were to look out the two windows, is still generally drab and overcast. There's still that fog if you were to look out this window on the side, kind of surrounding the perimeter where the tree line is on this property. But there's nothing overbearing on your beings at this time. You feel for the first time since you've entered this house a relative sense of rest. Though I would imagine, Rasmus, as you start drinking that coffee, being the one who first unlocked that door, the back of your mind has something still focused on those stairs that go down.
Yeah, I mean, as Rasmus like rouses, coffee in hand and probably like some jerky or whatever else is amongst those trail rations, slowly but surely the gears start turning. Like subconsciously, he's already gearing back up. Whatever he managed to shuck the night before, he's already strapping the chainmail back on, getting the straps back into place, getting the shield back up, and kind of just like, I don't want to say silently doing this, but much less talkative than he has been up to this point. Because it's coming back to him that this is what happened the night before, and that they've got a something ahead of them that could be worse than what they've already encountered, which was bad enough as it was. So, yeah, he's distracted, definitely distracted from the group, but like focused very much on the task at hand.
How about the rest of you? After a relatively restful night's sleep, again, you're able to, in-game mechanic style, long rest, so there's no exhaustion. There's nothing necessarily impeding you as you wake up. What are your thoughts as you start your second day in this building?
So I'm remembering bits and pieces of the previous evening, and I remember being in this room, looking at things. Did we fully search everything in here, like under the bed, and in the desks and everything?
We went through the desk for sure. I know that much, and I'm pretty sure I went through that bookshelf too.
Yeah,
we searched this room pretty early on because we came back to it afterwards.
Yeah, if in terms of what I can give you, everything that you guys would think to explore in the game, you have already done so.
Cool.
Red personally is ready to get the hell out of this place because it's nothing but bad news since we got here.
Bjorn, seeing as you've already moved your way away, I'm imagining that the barricade is no longer necessary.
No, I was just like, no, yeah.
Through it like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Just ready to go.
Yep.
Let me out.
Zephyra probably would have picked at some of her own rations a little bit and looked her arm over at her bite from the night before.
Oh yeah, you got chewed on.
You notice as you look down at it that there's nothing necrotic about it. There's nothing showing any type of spread. If you were unaware, or if someone were to see you, they would imagine it was just a generic animal bite.
Okay.
You feel no different. There's no adverse effects throughout the night. It just at this point appears to be a bite.
Okay.
That's true. You got to drink from their cool-looking vase with blood in it. That's what I hear. That's what the demon books say.
Vase o' blood, my personal favorites.
Otherwise, if everyone is going to start convening outside, I will have followed suit and gone with them.
Okay. Well, that leaves Whip Boy. Outstanding. What are you doing there, Aiden?
I am just silently following the crowd.
Okay.
Preparing myself for what lies ahead.
It's a very somber morning from the sound of things.
Yeah,
a long day.
Yeah, I can't imagine that even with a restful night's sleep, anyone is very keen on what the next day has for them. So I'd say all of you are in a pretty standard place for what I would expect. Rasmus, as you approach the door, I believe you had made sure it was at least latched back, but the door is still with that iron key that you have able to be opened with ease.
Okay. Before I'm going to put the key into the lock, but then I'm going to, without actually turning it and opening it, since the group seems to have congregated behind me there, I'm going to turn and just tell them, like, look, I'm not one for speeches. I'm not good at that kind of thing. I'm good at mediating arguments. I'm good at being helpful. This is above and beyond my pay grade, for lack of a better term. So, I think it's important that we all stick together. I think it's important that we watch each other's backs. For better or worse, we've got right now. Like, we're all that any of us have. And I don't know another way out of here but through. So, yeah. He's just going to kind of leave it at that.
Red nods his head in agreement and draws his bow and notches an arrow for what's to come possibly in this hallway.
Anybody else keen for its Miller time? Because that's all I heard after Hunter's thing is the entire cross the streams bit. It's just, I'm proud. I like this plan.
I'm proud to be a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nobody has
just kind of like nods, just simply, silently, and just kind of waits to breach through.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Rasmus is once more going to check the straps on his shield and then turn and open the gate and head into the. I'll light a torch. I'll light another torch for those who can't see.
Thank you.
And instead of wielding my mace, I'll have that. So shield, torch.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yep. Yeah, unless there's any qualms with the party, you guys, there's enough room on the staircase to go 2 wide down.
Before I go down, I turn around. I'm like, Aiden, you coming, dog?
Yes, I'll be there.
No. No, Pig. No, Bjorn.
No.
All right, so with that transition in mind, let us make our way into the crypt. Now, if I have done my stuff correctly, you guys only are able to see a small landing and a direct area in front of you, correct?
This shit's dark.
Yes.
Okay, that is what you should see, so we will...
I don't want to draw a lot of attention to it, but I don't like the fact that Cody outright used the word crypt. That sucks.
Well, I mean, this is down.
Yeah, it's down and,
also
down and dirty.
Just so you guys know, I have turned off the grid background for this map, so you have free movement, but obviously there's a grid on the map, so kind of use that as you will, but nothing's going to snap into place specifically.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking,
all right, Bjorn, so your top hat's missing in the dark.
Yeah, I'm like just kind of poking it in, seeing like if I tap this, show.
Yeah, no, it will not. I have, unless you're seeing something, because I imagine your token should go away. As you descend the stairs, the temperature has started to fall. As you go down, it starts to feel chillier as you descend. As you approach the last few steps, Rasmus, you, I imagine, leading the party, would be the first one to experience this. The smell of decaying flesh, rot, and kind of that mustiness that mold has, kind of if you're going to a concrete floor that's been wet for a long time, you start to smell all of that. It fills your nose as you come down. As your foot strikes the floor, and all of you will notice this as well, as all of you step off that last step and onto the floor, there is a slight mist covering the floor. It is opaque enough for you to generally see the outline of your boot or your foot, whatever that may be, but it does impede that slightly. And as the 5 of you have noticed, as you exit into this little hallway, one, there is a torch that is lit on the wall. So Rasmus, you are to do as you wish, but you do notice there is a torch lit ahead of you. Okay. As you get into the stone wall, you see up and down. There are 2 ways in which you can go.
Up or down?
I vote left, or I guess
yeah, it would be left.
The direction you're going?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this group together, and he seems to already be going that way, so I'm gonna follow.
Okay.
Same.
All right. Out of character for just a second. Well, if I minimize Discord, does my camera view disappear? Or do you guys still see me moving around and whatnot?
No, if you minimize it, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's only if you turn your
cool.
video off.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to make sure. Cool. Because I've got multiple screens going on here. Okay, so as those of you start moving north, let me grab my tool. I need to pan my map here.
It's a secret tool that will help us later.
Later. There you go.
It's like the darkness ends like a wall.
Well, I mean, for those of you with dark vision, which is a select few of you.
More than half of us, apparently. I feel like a freaking the one of 2.
Do I have dark or low? I have dark. Okay.
Again, to review, Hunter and Tanner have dark vision.
Cody, I just want to take a moment to point out. No, look, I know what you think I'm going to say, all right? But what I wanted to say was I have dark vision.
Okay.
So, I got long vision.
Long vision. All right. Well, hang on.
I can see far out there if there's light.
The entire goddamn group chat's going to be changed names before we're done with this session. Shit.
Oh, I'm not changing Air Yorick for a while.
No, Air Yorick needs to stay. That's fantastic.
That's a good one.
I will expand your vision in that one direction to a certain extent, so you will notice now that you see much. But Again, Bjorn, is anybody trying to impede Bjorn as he continues to pivot into the dark, or what are we doing here?
I'm just gonna keep following him with my bow drawn, thinking, you fucker, slow down.
How dark is it? Because there's these torches on the wall. How much light are they casting?
At least in this direction, because of where these two are, you could probably see. I'll give you a little bit more.
Can I crack open a
there.
torch? Can I crack one open?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to do whatever you'd like in this situation. The world is your oyster.
He apparently has glow sticks instead of
torches.
You're going to crack it, snap it down the middle. And
yeah, Bjorn, as you...
I just do this on my thumb. Yes.
Yeah, as you do that, I'll give you that vision as well. So... Because actually, I have that lovely tool that I need to start doing in terms of...
Tool?
Keeps talking about this tool.
Dude keeps talking about that tool.
I'm going to move here, try to stop him and say, hey, you need to slow the hell down.
I forget, I can reveal area by area, so I can also do that polygonally. But since you guys are going...
I'm just going to kind of move to the center here just so I can get a better idea of what's around all of it. I want open directions to look here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
While that's happening, Zephyra and Aiden, what are you guys doing? Because clearly
I'm gonna follow suit with them.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye and getting ready for when, horrible things happen.
Okay. So, Red and Bjorn, as you guys approach here, you see two iron gates kind of forking off here.
I get closer to the opposite wall from that gate because in my experience dealing with such things and such creatures, sometimes hands come through bars and you got to make sure you have distance. So I get against the wall here. I'm assuming when you said gates, this is see-through.
It's just a standard iron, like a fence gate.
Okay,
So Red...
I get lined up and I just want to take a peer in from a distance there.
Yeah, so I will show for Red on your side, which one day I may have the tools to hide it from you guys.
Well, Cody, you got the tools, you got the talent.
Talent, yeah. It's Miller time. It's time to show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
Oh, that's a little...
Cody, this guy is a sailor. He's in New York. We get him laid. We won't have any problems.
That's a casket for a wee one.
Nobody steps on a coffin in my city. Or in my town. All right, so for the two of you, Alfred, you look forward and you see a closed coffin, but you see it is a pretty large one. It consumes a good chunk of the room in which this is displayed. Bjorn, on your side, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask a question. You go ahead and tell him real quick.
Yeah, Bjorn, on your side, you see, just as you see on the picture, you have a coffin that's kind of askew in the right corner of the room. And the lid of it is propped up against the back left wall.
Is it small like that? Like for real?
Perspective-wise, obviously for the illustration, but in terms of game mechanics, it is an adult-sized coffin, or at least close to what you suspect.
At an angle, it looks like that, but it looks like it still takes up about the same space that the top one does.
Yeah.
If you look at the grid.
It may be a little narrower, but in terms of what it's meant for...
I'm not up there yet.
That's the poor vampire's coffin. The other one looks like much more well-to-do.
Yeah. All right. So if the three of you are still Rasmus, Zephyr, and Aiden hanging back at least, Bjorn and Alfred, I'll let you guys take the lead here for a moment. What do you wish to do upon seeing these two things?
I don't want to touch anything, but I do want to kind of just check. I don't want to touch the gate or anything. I just want to inspect it to see if this thing's loose, open in any way, or is it kind of well closed?
If you put your hand up on that gate with any pressure, it eases open. You can tell there was no latch to it. It's as if someone didn't fully close the door and it clicked.
I pull hands back and I just kind of take a step back here because I won't wait till we're all kind of in a place that's usable.
Okay. And while you backpedal away from that scene, Red, what are you doing as you see your room?
I'm trying to look from without getting too close to the gate or opening the gate. I want to see if I can see anything, any kind of plaque or anything on the casket, see if there's any clue who might be in there, if there is anybody in there, things like that.
In terms from what you can see, there's been enough of much like the entire building you navigated previously. There are cobwebs. There's general telltale signs that this has been not disturbed for periods of time, or at least some portions of this building, the torches lit notwithstanding. But the coffin in this room specifically seems as if it's been here recently. Like it looks like there's still a nice varnished sheen on the lid. From what you can see, it looks like there's not been the wear of age upon it.
Do I see any stones or anything on the ground around me?
No. Everything, I mean, you see a stone floor, but in terms of loose
like
rock, not
little
really much.
pebbles okay.
I mean, you may see a little bit of stuff that you could pick up. I mean, nothing seems terribly like loose. You could pick up a large stone, but yeah, I'll say there's a little bit of loose rock you could kick up.
Yeah, I just want to pick a piece of gravel and throw it at the casket and see if anything happens.
Okay. I will ask, do you wish to throw it through the grates of the iron gate, or are you trying to like open that up to get into it?
I threw the grates. I ain't opening it.
Okay. You throw it through, it ricochets. I'll probably about, you're a good shot. It hits center mass right there at the foot of the cross.
Wait, you
No
like
sound.
throwing rocks at this thing? What do you throw?
He throws a pebble or a rock, a little piece of gravel. You kind of hear that hollow sound of like hitting a piece of wood.
So okay,
But
so I
nothing-
walk over here and I'm like, all right, big man, I just kind of like inform me like we probably shouldn't be throwing
At
rocks.
this point, I got to be hearing noises. So
I'd have to imagine they're not quiet about this.
yeah.
That is true. I'm not quiet in this scene, so like to be
Just
in
playing
character.
follower still.
What are you two up to?
I'm just like I'm just looking.
Look, there's a casket here. It
Keep
doesn't look like it's
looking.
been opened, and it doesn't look very old. After the experience we had last night, I just wanted to throw something and see if something was awake inside. I'm not opening that gate though.
Yeah, just like I said, as the rock kind of hits the foot of that cross, you hear kind of that hollow echo sound of something, like a piece of 2x4 being knocked on, but nothing underneath to support it. But no other sound, like nothing creaks, emanates from it. You kind of hear that little piece of gravel ricochet off the foot of that cross and hit a wall, but nothing.
At this point, I'm
shows
guessing
that.
I can see that the bottom grate is open.
Yeah, with the
Bjorn
way.
opened it.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm sure Bjorn
This
didn't pull it
otherly-
latched much like it was, so yeah, it's kind of cracked.
Okay.
I'm not really interested in opening it unless you.
I'll go
are.
through there.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go through.
All right, so you're.
I mean, if we can see from here that casket is open, then yeah, I'll go through.
Oh, I thought the casket was. When did it open?
My casket's closed.
The bottom one's open. You can see
Yeah.
the lid against the wall there.
Is empty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah. I'll take a couple of careful steps in there and see what I can see with my half elf eyes.
Half
Yeah,
elf
badass.
eyes, all right. So you're kind of
That's-
peering around that lid, getting toward the foot of the coffin.
Yeah, I want to see if I can, because I don't know how well I can see into that coffin from the grate, but I mean, I'm going to approach it carefully, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Here,
Well-
approximately.
Yeah, as you approach that coffin, you kind of cast your torchlight over it. There is again nothing inside. This one looks like it's been worn with age. It's a ramshackle, kind of as Kaz put it, a pauper's coffin. Nothing of anything ornate, just plain wood. But as you start to cast your torchlight over the foot of this, you start to hear a little bit of a rattle coming from behind that lid on the left wall. As you hear that rattle, you look ahead. If you were to survey the room, you see a couple kind of holes in the wall. You hear some scurrying coming through. Your room is starting to be flooded by a swarm of rats.
Skeevers.
Ew.
I
just-
would like some
Skeevers.
initiative.
Damn it! No, we ain't got to
Bet
fight
you
no
would.
rats. Shit. Burn
Gross.
all these little sons of bitches. Son of a bitch.
What I get? Yeah,
Here we
okay,
go with these
better.
shitty dice again.
Yeah, I gotta tell you,
Lord.
I'm getting real close to wanting to use my physical dice for this.
Hey,
I don't think I've rolled over 10 in the last few.
22.
18.
Yeah, 11.
12.
okay. 11, 12, 22. Bjorn, what you got?
I got 6.
You ain't got
Okay.
Jack.
Shannon, what you got?
18, I think it was.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the truth.
right.
Wait, can you not see that?
I can't. I was on the character sheet page, and because I have to bring over that.
Here, I have a cat. Here, kitty, come get a rat.
Man, there you go. Send the cat in. Set the cat on fire and send it in. That way it's double duty.
Shannon, that was my favorite song that Krusty sang on The Simpsons. Send in the cats. Those Laffy Daffy cats.
All right. So let's see what we got here in terms of this. Okay, so they've got an 11. So we'll split that in half.
I can hear the rats chewing on the walls now.
Oh, that's right, yeah, chewing on the walls. There you go. All right, so red, to kind of ease a little bit, I'll kind of snap you or move you to the center of that square. And I do apologize, the way this map is drawn, some of the grid lines aren't as prominent as they are in other places. But we'll play guesstimate as we need to. So you are first up in the order. What do you do upon hearing, like even from your distance, you hear the rattling from that wooden lid on that wall, and then start to hear that scurrying sound?
Well,
You're someone you've lived in woods, you've lived in, you're a wood elf, you know what this is.
Seeing as I know what it is, more than likely, I'm going to move down. Let's see, was that 15 there? Can I see from where I'm at?
Yeah, I mean, you probably see the foot end of the coffin from where you're at. Remember, you can kind of take over Bjorn's space and kind of move. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you a little bit of an edge there so you can actually grab that token.
You can probably look over me.
I mean, that too. Yeah, you're good.
Bjorn, were you holding a torch?
I was. I am.
Mickey. Okay, this is totally a video game play, and I don't know if it's available. Can he light one of my arrows on fire?
That is gone. Yep.
I mean, typically, rules as written, you need to have a flammable implement on it, like something you can dip the arrowhead in.
Yeah, because it would be like a stone or a metal arrowhead,
right.
So
Yeah.
you could heat it up. You could create a heat-seeking missile.
He's so nice. He's sanitizing his arrow before he starts.
Right? Yeah. It cauterizes the wound it creates.
Keep him fighting for sport.
I guess I'm just gonna.
I love that idea.
Yes,
I
no.
absolutely do, but it's one of those things where, yeah, I get it. If it's not wrapped in something, I would even think if it was wrapped in something, if you'd already had that ready, that'd just be a bonus action. Just turn it, light it, and go. But
Yes.
I was thinking.
there's nothing to light except the shaft, and that's going to break it. So
Yeah, I will say in terms of to show back in terms of how game mechanics work, that is something you can do, and that is something that if you end up exploring that or find I think we treat it like an oil or like kind of a thicker viscous oil in one of the campaigns I played previously, that they had that ability with a steel and flint to just light it and go. So that's something you certainly can do, just you don't have things right now, to my knowledge, to do that with.
Molotov arrow.
More or less.
Can I? Oh man, I'm trying to think of anything I can do here besides wasting arrows on all these rats.
I'm like, your feet are. You wear a size 16. Just stomp them.
I will say, Tanner, mechanically how the game works, you would be shooting at the swarm. It's not like these are individual rats that you have to kill one by one.
Well, then I'm just gonna take I've had an arrow on the ready to go, notch step ready to go. I'm just gonna let fly.
Okay. So what have we got here? Sorry, that just away. Am I missing a
Ricochet
roll?
act. I wouldn't want to be Rasmus in that room right now. This shit can be like, blink, 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 blink.
Right.
Again.
Quit ripping my shirt.
Lindsay is battling with her own swarm currently. That's that misses.
Of course it does.
As you fire that between the firelight, trying to get your arrow pulled up and avoid Rasmus, and also just dealing with a large mass of rats coming through, you fire trying to avoid Rasmus, but you feel that you almost, you are close to it. It just skims over the crowd and planks off basically the base of that wall at the back of the room.
All right.
Oh, never mind.
Anything else you want to do with your turn? You still have another 5 feet or stuff to go.
Yeah. Would I be able to switch to my hand axes?
Yeah, I'll treat that as a bonus action that you can switch over.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to my hand axes and.
Because I'm kind of to kind of go, that's kind of how Hunter handled it in Star Wars, and I'll handle it kind of the same way. In terms of, there's not a quick draw feature. There's something you can do that with, but mechanically, I'm a little less concerned about that.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Take a step in and be ready to start stomping and slashing.
There we go. But
We need to get you a bat wrapped in some wire, and you can be like Charlie. You can go rat bashing. You gotta bash the rats.
Oh man. Okay, so Alfred has exhausted his turn. Aiden, you're not going to be able to make it to where they're at unless you double move. So tell me, how do you wish to spend your turn?
I suppose I'll double move over there.
I'm actually going to say that. 20 feet to put you there. Another 10 feet to put you in. Actually, 10 feet. 10 feet will put you right in line. Now, mind you, with a whip, you won't be able to attack anything. But 30 feet will put you basically right where Bjorn's at.
You can attack me.
Yes,
Oh,
that is
please
an
close
option.
enough for that.
Now is that for a double move, right?
No, the 30 feet. So a single move would put you where Bjorn is right now.
Oh,
yeah, you can move 30 feet.
Yeah, admittedly, I don't have your character sheet, but I assume there's nothing that would impede you from moving the
You got
stage.
sliding in.
I guess,
Oh, I do have it now.
Yes.
I hadn't reloaded my page. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know what else to do other than to just stand there, so I'll move up there and just stand there and utter some words of encouragement and wait for the next one.
Okay. That is something you can do.
It's one of the only things I can do, Cody.
There you go. Okay, so I'll leave you. Are you able to move your token, or do you not need to do that?
Oh, I forgot I could, honestly.
At least you should be able
There
to.
you say?
Yes.
There-ish? Okay.
There's, yeah. Enough to where I would say you have view of the room. So, but yeah, in terms of being able to see your token, that's good for me.
Okay.
All right, Zephyr, you're up next. Again, in the same respect that you've got movement that would put you could stand in the coffin from the distance you're at, give or take. So
I would rather not stand in the coffin.
If there are enough rats, they might be able to lift you like a very creepy throne. Sure, why not?
I am not the rat queen.
You always wanted to be the queen. Come on.
I will go ahead and move into the room. I'm going to stay about in that area.
Mhm.
And I'll go ahead and take out my own crossbow. And take a shot into the swarm, so to speak.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll on that.
23.
Woo! Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
It is. It's green.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I did something useful for once.
Yeah, you are going to smack them pretty well. Now, that's how do we? So we said max damage on that, correct? Is how we're treating that this
I
campaign.
believe
So
that's how we were doing it.
That would be 9, and then the game adds critical damage to it, and it rolls a separate D8, which is kind of odd. But we'll go ahead and just give the full 9 on that. So yeah,
Okay.
you walk in the room, you feel steady, you fire off that bolt, and you spread a number of rats. Like you hit the center of the group, and you see a number of them just bounce off the wall and fall down to the floor dead.
Gross.
Those rats are feeling vulnerable.
Yes, so you took care of that hit pretty hard. So
Okay, that's all I got this time.
Walk into the room like, what up? I got my gun cocked.
that's right. Show
Come
what's
in
up.
blasting. Start blasting.
No, that
Oh,
was
that's
my
Shannon,
other
did you bring your
character.
gun?
Of course.
Where's Fly?
Where's the goddamn rats?
Oh man! All right. So speaking of, as that section of rats batter against the wall, there is more than enough to take their place. And since they move en masse, they are making their way toward the nearest target, which is one Rasmus Thomason.
Ugh. Tie goes to the DM, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're you were the first one they saw, and not that these creatures are very intelligent. You're just a warm body in front of them.
I meant that 11 initiative.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah,
or is their benefit higher than mine? I mean, you're a DM, man. Do what you want to do.
No, I did that without even thinking about the fact you also rolled an 11. What is your...
My bonus is a 2.
Okay, yeah, no, then you go first. Because their bonus is 0. So, yeah.
Well, cool. I'll take
so
that.
never mind.
I ain't mad about that.
I will reverse that order for this. So, my fault. You are...
No. It's... You do what you want, man. You're in charge. I was just
number. Yeah, no, you're good. Thank you for catching it. Because I just threw it in the order and didn't think about this, not considering it.
Well, if everybody hadn't come into the room, I would have said, let's just leave and lock it. But then again, they're probably small enough that they can get through that grate. So,
well, you're right.
Are they...
I mean, if anyone wants to leave the room, I can try and fry them next round.
Yeah, I would say they're adjacent to you.
Not a bad idea. Oh, okay, so I need to... Well, crap, that sucks. Well, I can still do that. Okay, yeah, I'm going to back out, number 1.
Okay.
Although I want to be able to keep line of sight to them.
Basically, stay out of a 5-foot radius of me.
Okay, and then to try and help her, I'll cast Sacred Flame and try to drop some fire on them. So it's a Dex save 13 for you.
Yep. As you can imagine, rats are not very dexterous, so yeah, you hit on that.
Sweet. And that's going to be whatever that is. Can't see it yet.
3 radiant damage.
3 radiant damage. There you go.
There you go.
So yeah, basically as Rasmus, I'm going to have him back away first so that he doesn't get attacked, but I'll say on his way out, pretty much he's trying to coalesce that fire over him and just, they're rats, man. Set them on fire. Why not? Torch them.
So now to go along with the lovely smells I described at the start of this session, as you come down the steps, you now smell
rat hair.
Yeah.
Who made Chinese?
Smell like 100% rat ass.
Yes, damn it, you beat me to it. Damn it.
That's crazy. It's made out of Red's mama's pubic hair. Anyway.
This whole crypt looks bombed out and depleted.
Depleted.
Okay, yeah, so you kind of same thing. Not as much as the swarm scatters after that sacred flame, but a number of them, as it makes contact, kind of drop. So the numbers are slowly diminishing, and they are, again, not a pleasant scent. But now that you have moved, however, the next warm body nearest them is Zephyrus.
Hi.
I didn't think about that. Sorry.
They're going to make their way to you.
That's okay. I know what's happening.
Yeah, so you have the way it goes, you are going to be attacked by bites. So a number of them are going to try to, at this point, kind of get at your ankles, your legs. That's where they're at right now. What is your AC?
Like the other furballs that I have in the house right now.
Yeah, your AC is 14. You needn't worry. You have enough of a drop seeing as Rasmus moves, so you knew there was a bit of distance between them and you. As they start to go, you kind of have your ability to flail your feet a bit and kind of kick back the swarm a bit because they are unable to get any secure bites onto you.
No fuzzies.
Yeah, so they are unable to do anything, but they are swarmed around you. They are occupying your space. So at least as it stands, they are currently around your feet.
Okay.
So as that goes, our last man in the order, Bjorn. You got basically the entire party in front of you. And some rats inside a room.
Yeah, I'm looking at this map right now, and even if it was only the Alfred, I have a feeling that 7-foot stack is going to block my view. So, with everyone else involved, can I even see?
I mean, game mechanically, any attacks that you would do, barring a failure, would be able to hit the enemy. But yeah, your biggest thing right now is that you have impedance by Alfred covering up most of the door.
Yeah, Well, I'm afraid I'm going to shoot him in the leg if I try to go for the rats. Or I shoot Zafira in the leg if I go for the rats.
I mean, you would have to
I do not wish
catastrophically
to
fail
take
for
an
that
arrow
to
to
happen.
the knee.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not
Okay.
aiming at her specifically, so unless you roll a
All right, I'm
crit
gonna
fail,
trust
you're
all of
fine.
y'all that this ain't gonna happen. So I am gonna lift a bolt in the rat's general direction. Here it comes. Eventually, promise.
Maybe.
Pause for bolts.
Pause for bolts. No, unfortunately, in your
Pause for
situation,
red
due to
arrows.
having to navigate around the wall better than window Alfred there, you fire off a bolt and you actually, trying to catch the angle that you do, you hear it thud into the wood that you imagine is at the foot of that coffin.
I hate these dice. Well, at least
So
I
that
didn't
is-
shoot anybody in the buttocks. So that's
That's true. Yeah, nobody else is getting hurt. Anything else you wish to do on your turn?
Just point out the fact that that was when everybody was like, "No, you had to catastrophically fail." That was a 2 that I rolled, by the way.
So
I mean,
so what you're telling me is you didn't catastrophically fail. All
yeah,
right, good
you
job.
narrowly avoided it, but
True. That is true. It was
Yeah.
a breath, but such as it is, I'm gonna kind of stare on him.
Yeah,
Like,
you had a 5% chance, and you didn't fall into that.
true. I'm looking into this room right now, and I just shake my head, going, "Well,
it's a some bitch.
rats are on y'all now."
That's right. All right, so Alfred, you the rest of the party's cleared the way. You're standing in the doorway. What do you wish to do as the stand swarm of rats stands at Zephyr's feet?
Red go ook.
What does that
Rego,
mean?
what now?
Red go ook.
I think what he's trying to tell you, he's going to go unga bunga.
Yeah.
Red smash.
All right,
He's going rat bashing, Charlie.
Go.
Rat bash.
go rat bashing, bud. What you got?
What is that? Unarmed strike?
Oh, you're not wanting to do it with your hand. I thought you said you had drawn a hand axe during the last action.
I
You got
did.
them both out.
I do,
Yeah.
but no, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I was gonna start just stomping.
I mean, you can do that. Yeah, if that's what you wish to do, you can do an unarmed strike that way. Yeah.
All right, Bob is now
Yeah.
going rat
So
bash.
it's just your just a +3. So
Which is the exact same as my hand axe. So
yeah. Perfect. Yeah. No, you're
18.
able. You're able to do that. Now, in terms of how it's written, it's just 2 bludgeoning damage. Like it's just a flat rate of damage. But yeah, you do that. You success. You sure do.
Out of
You walk.
curiosity, if his feet are exceptionally large, does he get the possibility of more rats per stomp?
And again, because the swarm is one entity in this,
Fair enough.
no mechanically.
Touche.
Flavor wise, yes, he will continue the trek to Flavortown. You, with your honking flipper feet, go ahead and just knock out like 5 or 6 of those rats, and it's not a contest. They have no ability to like
All right.
put up a fight
Well,
against the boot.
There goes another name, honking
Yep.
flipper feet.
Yep.
Dibs.
Hey, Bob's. I just changed it.
No, your wood sticks. We just changed that.
Wait. No, that's Tanner. That ain't me.
You got to.
I know, that's what he said. Tanner said he
Oh.
had dibs on it.
No. Yeah, you're sticky, man.
No, it's
Yep.
done.
I was about to say I'm the only one that's actually got feet like that. So
There we go. So, Alfred, you want to stay in the room, or you want to make your way out?
I'm gonna stomp on them. Go, oh god, this is so gross, and kind of scurry back out towards the door.
Okay.
Immediately regret this
6'7",
decision.
he's scurrying.
Yep.
Squish.
So I'll leave you out. Oh god, there you go. All right, Aiden, what do you got? You come across all of this happening in the last 20 seconds or so.
Am I in rat whipping range?
And because of the iron gate, you're probably going to need to be where the rest of the cluster is to get within that reach too.
You can
But you
split
can
your
do-
movement in this though,
Yes,
right?
yes. So you can absolutely
Okay.
walk up, do the thing, and then go back.
All right, so I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna do the thing,
Okay.
and then possibly walk back. Let's see what happens.
And possibly
Please do a
walk
good
back.
thing. Please do a good thing.
That is a 23.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and give me damage on that, bud.
That is a 6.
All right, minimum damage. But yeah, you're able to do it. Yeah, You cut through them. It's like a knife through butter. You pop that whip, and you see a cascade of rats like ricochet off the floor.
So gross.
And then I'd like to walk it back.
All right.
Smart move.
Now walk it back.
No, walk it back. Zephyra, you have a much more manageable swarm, or maybe a small puddle of rats than you did in a previous turn.
Okay.
Your compatriots have thinned the herd mightily. So how do
Okay.
you wish to act?
Are they still swarming my feet, or can I move at all? As far as
No, you're able to move. It's just in the way
Okay.
of they swarm, which is why they're called that way. They just stay in your hitbox.
fair enough. Well, just to make sure my compatriots aren't in my range, I'm gonna shift down here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna holler at them, you might want to cover your ears. And I'm gonna cast Thunderclap.
Okay. Yeah, Thunderclap's just a con save, so let me roll that up.
Yep.
Phew, yeah, they didn't save that.
Oh,
So you have...
crit law. Oh no, dang.
Oh, which that was crappy as far as the damage end of it went.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Man, okay. So Thunderclap, to kind of show how it is written, let's see here. You have thunderous sound that can be heard up to 100 feet away.
Yep.
Each creature does the con save or takes the thunder damage. So in this case,
6 thunder damage.
yeah. So they take only the one damage. Now, mind you, you still throw a couple of rats on the wall. They're barely hanging on as a swarm. But more to the point, because of that sound, you hear it just, and those of you outside the room especially, you hear it echo kind of throughout the tunnels you've explored so far, and you expect it's a noticeable sound. And so much so, in your case, Zephyra, as you, like the non-visible, but the wave of thunder sound were to hit the wall, you kind of kick up a big chunk of dust as it starts to like rain from the ceiling. You've loosened something on that flat surface that can hit contact with.
Gross.
And it kind of reverberates around you. You are more capable of avoiding anything that's going to like wreck your train of thought. But you're at the front row of a rock concert, is what you're feeling
Cool.
right now.
All right. I'm just gonna end it there.
Okay.
I'll keep what is left of the rats distracted for the others.
Rasmus, you having covered your ears enough to avoid any extremely raucous sounds.
And they're big ears too, Steve. They're real big.
Gotta folding them down in half over the top. But yeah. But you see that again, this swarm of rats is far thin. There's only a few stragglers left.
Okay, let's try Sacred Flame again.
Okay.
Dex 13 save for you.
13? Nope.
No, on them or on me?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, they did not save.
Okay.
I thought about that after I said it. It's like, that's not helpful.
Cody, the instructions are unclear. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Hey, that's max damage.
Hunter, instructions unclear, self-immolated.
I'm now on fire. What do I do?
That's right.
Actually, it appears that they're on fire, because,
Yes.
that's 8 radiant damage.
Yeah, Zephyra, since you're right in front of them, unfortunately, you get the brunt of that melt.
Oh, did I microwave
Okay.
a couple of them?
Yeah, no,
what
it's,
happened here?
Yeah, you well beyond take care of the rest. A
Jones barbecue
couple
with
flames with
massage.
feet kind of run their way toward the holes they came from and kind of just smolder and drop. But the
Great.
one or two that are left, they are the hamster in Maniac Mansion. So yeah, unfortunately, there's a little bit of a mess left behind.
Ugh,
Yikes.
gross.
Yep. But as it stands, the swarm has been taken care of.
All right, who's hungry?
I'm just gonna get away from the carcasses.
I'm a little
I'm gonna
hungry.
turn to Red and just tell him straight up, like, I hate how much I want to respond that I am to that. I need you to know I am actually hungry, but not for this.
Mayhaps another meal. This is not the fourth meal I wanted.
Well, if we're free to move about the cabin, I want to head back into this place once I guess, stepping over the barbecued rat.
Yeah.
And see if there's anything to actually be seen in that coffin.
As you peer your way in, other than the bolt from Bjorn that's sticking out of the foot of the coffin now, there is nothing. You see kind of a little bit of singed fire damage on the side that's closest to you from when those sacred flames were to have hit their target, but other than that, there's nothing inside the coffin. It looks empty, and save for the thunderclap and everything that's happened in this room, it still looks as if it's well worn with age, but unoccupied and has been for some time.
Can I, I hid underneath the rats. There we go. Can I,
oh, yes, I guess I can clear those off, so.
No, it's okay. I wanted to pull that coffin lid off the wall and see is it just rat holes back there? Is that all we're looking at here? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no active rat holes, but yeah, there's just kind of cover up a bunch of gaps in the wall.
Okay. Yeah, well, then we're going to leave that and close that gate behind us and go, all right. What's
great.
behind door number 2? I'm going to move up here, and I'm also going to run to the restroom, but I'm listening, so keep talking.
Okay.
I guess Red will try to open this gate because now he needs to know what's in this casket.
Okay. Much like the gate that Bjorn pushed open, this one has like a latch that you have to pull, but it is also unimpeded, so you can kind of lift the swing arm and push it open without any issue. Currently, as it is, as you see on the screen, it is lid on top of coffin.
I'm going to move here and see if there's anything I notice in that general area.
Everything in terms of just how you see, there's some slightly ornate, like wooden engravings. Kind of looks like maybe vines or something moving around that drop-down portion of the lid, the angled portion. The cross on the center isn't incredibly ornate, but it is, you would maybe say, pewter or something like an inexpensive metal that has been cast to be decorative. On the underside, as you were to look down, there are handles by which to lower this, but they aren't made of anything greatly opulent. Their function more than, or form and function more than decoration.
Do I see any rat holes in this crypt?
No. You see a couple like small gaps where you would imagine just in terms of mortar or whatever the material is has maybe given way over time, but there's nothing in the way that you guys would have seen in the other room. This is a stable structure looking room.
Okay, so Red's going to look outside the gate to Bjorn and Rasmus and go, now look, what's the chance that the cross, there's like a vampire inside this casket and the cross on top of it is keeping it in there?
About the same as the ratio of leprechauns to unicorns. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you about these things.
Cody would.
Maybe ask our
to
monster
be fair,
hunter.
okay.
Yeah,
Rasmus is gonna know a little bit about like holy symbols and that kind of stuff, and I would assume he knows the basics. But yeah, a vampire is not something he has encountered before.
Well, it was very much an not open-ended question, but very much a. So should I open this?
Could I give some? Would I know anything about that? Would I have any kind of insight on that one?
I mean, as much as your general knowledge would cover some of the things that Red has said, yes, in terms of sometimes there are coffins that are impeded or protected by some form of symbol, but there's nothing in the way of observation that you can tell from this one that this is that purpose, or like we said, there was a hollow sound when the piece of gravel went off. So if Red shares that with you, there's nothing indicative of there being something inside.
I would tell them that even if that were true, why would we want to let them out?
Agreed.
Curiosity?
Killed the giant elf.
Curiosity isn't going to do us very well here. I say we move on.
I mean, what if there's some kind of important clue here that we need?
He has a point.
All right.
It's not that this place has been very forthcoming with what has taken place here in the past in our experience so far.
As he says he has a point, Red starts like trying to find a way to.
Red's like, I do.
Yeah, right. I'm like pulling, just as an aside, I don't pull it all the way closed, but I kind of pull the door toward me a little bit, and I just kind of whisper there, "Go ahead, do it, do it."
Bjorn.
Red, so you're trying to get the lid off?
Yes.
There's no latching mechanism really to speak of, so you're able to lift this up. Give me a wisdom save.
He's about to go crazy.
Save, he says.
10.
You open up that lid, and after a split second, you see yourself in there, arms crossed with your axes held.
Wait a minute. Tanner, what'd you roll?
He rolled insight.
You rolled an insight check.
Oh, he did, yes.
It was a wisdom.
Wisdom save is on the left underneath where it says Strength, Dex, and Con, and gives your stats.
Yeah.
There's 4 or there's 6 saving throws. It says saving throws. It's
Let me
a
ask
whiz
this.
up above that.
Before you roll another one, what's your wisdom?
There it is.
Well, cool.
19.
Okay. So as you open that lid, you for a split second kind of startle yourself, thinking you see yourself in there. But as that lid fully opens and the torchlight that Bjorn's kind of casting from the iron gate shows, you notice that it is an empty coffin. If you were to kind of look at it with an inspecting or inquisitive eye, again, as you notice from the outside, this looks relatively new. There's nothing in the way of wear. There's not even really impressions in the lighting or the cloth that would show that there's anything ever that's been inside this other than the hands of the maker.
Maybe this casket was made for somebody to use eventually. And now I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, you get a sense of foreboding from this.
I want to note that, like, when it looks back, you can see Bjorn start to kind of like reopen the gate like a little bit, and then putting like some nylon, like some rope, back into his pocket, into his side.
Seeing this, he casually tossed aside a large rock. What say we torch it?
Sure.
Sure, burn it.
Yeah, I mean,
On fire. That's cool.
you are certainly able to. I mean,
Hey, Bjorn, let me see that torch.
Yeah.
yeah, Rasmus is you and Red. I assume Rasmus, are you going to go in and do the same, or is Red?
Yeah,
gonna go
at this point, you're gonna occasionally hear Rasmus saying things like blasphemous, and foul and demonic, and so yeah, he's very concerned that this is all extremely unholy, and burn the witch.
Yeah. Man, I very much appreciate that Rasmus is 13 or 14-year-old Cody reading the Da Vinci Code for the first time. Because I feel like this is all the shit I was saying when I read the first half of that book as a stone cold Pentecostal.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this is a guy who grew up in a religious order, who has been fully indoctrinated. I mean, he fully believes that he was placed here by, he treats Ilmater as a Jesus, like a Christ figure. So yeah, I mean, he believes that his world revolves around him, and if he's here, it must be for a reason, and this is probably it. And this thing looks holy and doesn't come across as holy, so burn the witch. Yeah. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, there's no resistance. You guys smell the fragrance of wood as it starts to burn. Some of the it's the time period of the game that we're in. It's not like it's very ornate layering inside, but kind of that cloth starts to give up as well. And before too long, you've got a smoldering pile of wood just sitting there doing its job in flames inside this stone room.
Good. Get out of here. I want to lock that gate behind me too, or push it latched.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm following Bjorn out the hallway again as they're burning stuff, because I'm like, okay, there's nothing else here. It's time to move on.
Yeah, I'm starting to creep away.
Okay.
Same.
He appears to be moving upward, so I'm going to follow him.
I love that Red just sprints. He just leaves the room like, no, I said fire, gotta go. Okay. Yeah, so the options, if you guys start making your way that way, let me start illuminating some more stuff for you. At least as you approach currently, no, don't reveal them, reveal the area. I'm moving you for second born. You keep messing up not that you're doing anything, the reveal area keeps
You
wanting
in
to.
the way.
Yeah, it wants to select you as opposed to highlight the space I'm doing it. Thanks, Roll20. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you're good to keep going. Unless it's Bjorn, I imagine you take your torch back from Alfred.
Yeah, or light another one.
Okay, yeah, either way it goes, you guys start approaching this room, and because it's just an open staircase, you guys see this way. You start to see a room that is lit currently. And it looks like kind of a lived-in area. As you kind of make your way in.
Oh, okay, never mind. Good. No, you're good. I think you're about to answer my question.
Yep. And now kind of as you guys continue to open up, you see this. As the party starts to enter this room, facing away from you.
The hell is that?
Let me select a token, please. Okay, things are objects in the screen are larger than they appear.
Okay. Like,
Yeah,
that's real big.
Yeah, no, it's just the way the
What
tokens
sort
are
of
sized.
creature is this?
Yeah. So, as you guys enter the room, you see this small creature kind of sitting at the table, and it looks up, and you can tell that it was hard not to notice the whole crackling wood of a coffin and a thunderclap in a stone room. That it was halfway expecting something, but now that there's visual confirmation of other entities down here, he seems a bit frightened. You see his small eyes kind of open up. He's a stunted creature sitting at the table, at least you can tell. Kind of a fur-covered face all around.
Is there any food on the table or anything that it's eaten, or is there any remnants?
Yes, it looks as though he is, having whatever you would consider a meal. As you walk in, he kind of starts to whisper in this kind of gravelly voice, "Leave while you can. This is not safe for your kind." As you continue to look into the room, kind of paint the rest of the picture, there is a small bed and chest here in this room. Not really much that you can see. Well, actually, that's a little bit further, but you'll get there. The rest of this room is storage. You tell it's kind of, you see the sacks of flour on the floor. You see some implements that would show as if at least someone is here.
So Red's going to place his hand axes back in his belt and kind of slowly approach from an angle this creature, saying, "Look, we're here to help. We mean no harm to you as long as you mean no harm to us. We're just wanting to get out of here."
He still looks at you kind of intimidated and maybe backing up a little bit and acknowledges, "I don't understand how people have made their way here. It is not safe. Why did you travel here? Why did you come here? This is not safe for you."
We were called here, and none of us know why. Nor do we know how to leave. So if you do, by all means.
He looks kind of inquisitively at the thought of you being called here. You think as though he doesn't really understand that concept. The thought of coming to Barovia at least probably goes over his head, from what I can tell. But he will kind of look and say, no one has been called to this house in many moons. No one should come here. I am here for I must, but no one else should be. This is not good for any others.
Does Strahd have you trapped here?
He kind of gives a bit of a shudder and a hiss, but shakes his head as you say that. "I only serve my master. That is not master."
Who is master?
He kind of looks at Alfred, I assume. Yeah, I'm going to bring you over here if only to kind of keep my screen going. As you say master, he just starts to mutter, I don't, master is not in his right mind. He has become evil.
Who are you?
He looks at you and he says, "I am Igor." That's all he gives you in that moment. He's still, again, kind of taken aback by the fact that there's people here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Was that Igor?
No, Igor.
Oh, okay.
While they're talking, I'm just kind of like heading over to this kind of like door frame here, just to kind of take a peek in. While they got him kind of like occupied.
I mean, as you kind of notice,
sorry,
give
go
you a
ahead.
little bit of a view.
Take
You've
care
got
of
there's torchlight here at the wall, and you can tell there's at least the start of something going down.
Rasmus is going to introduce himself, come a little closer, slowly, so as not to startle who or whatever this one is, and ask him, if not Strahd, then is your master Count Logruft?
He looks at you and nods. Yes, that is Master, but Master is not the same. He has become evil. He has become consumed.
Following... Oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to ask him what happened.
He shakes his head because he doesn't seem to... He looks as if he doesn't understand, but he knows it's not good.
Okay.
Master had become focused on dark things, and it changed him. It ruined him. It ruined us.
Following Rasmus's lead, Red will move forward and say, "Look, my name is Elfred. I go by Red to my friends, and I'd like you to be able to call me Red. These things going on with your master, was that caused by Strahd? Is he the root of the problem?"
He looks uncomfortable. One, as you kind of get closer, you gotta see him maybe backpedal slightly away from the table, but he shakes his head and says, I do not know what, who, why, Master, but Master explored dark things. What Master chants, it is dark sounding.
Where is he now? Where is this master of yours?
He kind of gestures to where you are at. He is here. He is here in these crypts.
Did Master kill his children?
Strap, tighten, shield.
Yeah.
That ain't good. Douse that torch.
He shudders to the thought of you mentioning the children. Master must have done something to cause this. Master no longer goes into the manor. Master wants to forget. Master stays here.
Igor, what do you know of the others of the house? Elizabeth, Boris, Bella, Margaret, Dr. Friedman.
He just, again, becomes uncomfortable, kind of like wrinkles his head as the thought of each of them. You can tell that he knows who they are, but that they are things he is not meant to think of, not meant to speak of. He simply says, all are gone. All are gone. I have not seen in many moons. I travel the manor nightly. I light fires and candles. Master's orders.
Okay, that explains a lot. So yeah, Erasmus is going to put his torch away, and he's going to approach he's not going to draw his weapon. He's going to approach the table again slowly, and with his unbidden right hand is going to reach out like for a handshake and say, "We're not here to hurt you. We're hoping that you're on the same page."
He sees your hand and looks at you, and you can tell he's uncomfortable by the thought of having... He's not someone who typically greets people, so he typically leans over a little bit, like acknowledges your presence and does so, not in a very formal manner. As you get closer, you can tell he's kind of a mongrel-looking individual. The picture kind of depicts it a bit. Very furry face, connects to the head, kind of bearish style ears atop his head. You can kind of see some of the lower teeth come up underneath his mouth. You can tell he's not used to typical decorum, as it were. He acknowledges, he says, I welcome you into my area. But this is not safe. You shouldn't be here. But Igor is not to do anything but to serve Master. And Master is in this place. You should not be in this place. It is not safe. These crypts are not safe for you. There's too much death here. I wish you to leave for your own safety.
Can you do one of two things? Can you either show us the way out or can you take us to Master?
That thought of taking you to Master, he immediately shudders and just, I am not allowed in the dungeon. This is where I stay. I work here. I live here.
So the dungeon, that's where...
Is the dungeon where our friend just went? I'm going to point to where Bjorn is heading.
As he notices again, because he's fixed on the fact that you guys kind of are where you're all of his attention, he looks over toward that direction and his eyes widen as if to say, he starts to kind of like stammer for a second. He's uncomfortable with that thought. I toss the dead in the pits. It's not safe. The fights. Bjorn, you specifically, as again, your wandering eye takes you, you see with your torchlight, you see this gate, and you can start to see something in this room. And the first things you start to see about 10 feet away from the iron gate is just a pool of blood and that bloodied axe.
Oh. Ugh.
That's nasty.
And of course, obviously, the rest of you wouldn't have sight of that just yet.
Yeah. Okay, well, this guy is clearly getting like animated, so I'm just gonna try to calm him down. Pretty much, I just want him to try to relax a little bit. I'm gonna try to explain to him that like he doesn't have to worry about our safety. Like we'll take care of ourselves. We're more concerned about his safety now. Is there something we can do to help him, to free him from this influence?
He shakes his head. I am here. This is my place. I serve Master. I hide, and he gestures behind him to that door. I hide when I hear screaming, but I serve the Master's orders. Only the Master's orders. I do not leave. I do not wander. I fulfill purpose.
Whose
right.
caskets were those in the other room?
He looks at you kind of with a vacant look. He shakes his head as if, I do not know. I instructed to bring them here, but no purpose was given by Master. No purpose is given to Igor. Igor fulfills orders. Bjorn, just to kind of give you specifically as you wandered closer to that gate, you will notice, as I'll kind of illuminate there, recessed into that wall there is a lever.
Okay. So I walk back up here. Kind of like I've been wondering just kind of like why they've got his attention, seeing what's down in this area. So I'll walk back and I'm kind of hearing the conversation back and forth like a little bit from the distance, and I'm just kind of like signaling to them that I don't think that, I mean, you're welcome to continue with him, but I don't think there's going to be any more information available from him. And I'm signaling that there's just kind of like something down here worth looking at.
I'm gonna follow because I agree with him.
Yeah.
Igor, here's the final pitch. We're not asking for your help. We're not asking you to engage in a fight or anything like that. What we are asking for is, for lack of a better term, a ceasefire. You don't have to. We're not going to fight you. We're not your enemy. You don't have to help us in this fight, but you also don't have to warn your master that we're coming.
Igor looks and shakes his head as if that wasn't a thought that had even crossed his mind. And something.
Okay.
Igor fulfills purpose. Igor pleads that you leave for your own health. Igor stays here. And he gestures kind of toward the room as well. Okay. Igor drinks his wine, eats his meal, hides. That's Igor follows Master's orders. You should leave. And he kind of starts muttering things crazy. They like to fight. And he kind of looks at you, Rasmus, specifically, and kind of with a moment of clarity. The last people come here. They fought well, but they lost. It is not safe.
He's
Hey,
gonna
I
kind
like
of
to
laugh
fight.
as he tightens that strap of his shield again and says, "Yeah, well, what's new?" He appreciates his concern, but it is what it is at this point. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna follow them down this way since I'm aware of all this only tangentially.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So for those of you that are in the room, Igor kind of resigns himself to that. Aiden, you being the last one, you would probably notice that he walks toward the rack of wine, grabs a bottle. Now that he's standing, you see a bit of a teeter-totter about him. But he goes into this room, locked, and you hear the door lock as he enters it. So that is you get the feeling as the rest of you have left that again he doesn't know what to do in this situation, but he certainly does not wish to see more people in this place.
He dipped out. All right.
Chipper fellow.
Chipper, very chipper. Do we got everybody in position here? Where we want to be? So I just
Yeah,
kind of
I guess.
okay, I lean into the group.
Well,
I'm just,
Aiden's really far back.
Shane, you gotta be in the stay in that room there.
I just assumed somebody was moving me for me, but yeah, I'm here. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm behind you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I look to this gate. Do I just kind of give it a little bit of a shake? Is it locked or open or?
There was that lever.
You can tell there's something holding in place.
Leverage. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, you can tell there's some form of mechanism doing that. As the rest of you kind of pile in this narrow hallway, it is kind of a one-way street here. Bjorn, you're the first one to kind of get more of a look. That smell of death that you encountered at the start when you came down the steps is heavy. You feel as if that is the only thing that is here. And you, as you kind of approach the gate, you see a little bit more of what this room is. I'll kind of give you a little bit of an expanded view as it goes without going in. But you kind of see the blood-spattered shield, and you see kind of caked into the ground, long dried blood. And this looks like a dark place.
Well,
At least the sense of what its purpose is. You see some ambient light coming from the side, obviously, to illuminate that, so you can tell there's at least some form
so
of
I'm
light.
assuming that whenever I tested it, the gate was closed. Like it's
Yes,
not-
you rattle it. It didn't have any give to it. There was something keeping it in place.
All right. So I kind of look back at the group and I just kind of like look down at the handle, look at the door, look at the group, and just kind of like nod to just kind of question if anybody's ready to go forward.
I'll nod
We're
at
not
you.
having luck going back.
Not in
Yeah,
return.
I'm gonna brandish my mace though at this point.
All right.
Yes,
I- that
hand
thing-
axe is back in my hands.
I've got my crossbow handy.
Yeah, mine's been in my left hand there. So I just pull on the lever. I guess it's a pull, a push.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you pull back on that lever, and you hear a creak, and you see that gate slowly ascend.
Oh, shit, of course it's a lifting gate. All right. Hell with it. So I stand here and I just kind of look down, check out what's on the ground there.
All right, Bjorn is in. Okay, Alfred goes in. I'll let you. How quickly do some of you enter in? I figured, yeah, the first two are pushing through pretty quickly.
I'm also pushing through pretty quick.
And Zephyr, you
I might as well follow suit.
okay?
Zip, zip, zip.
Probably not the best idea, but it's what's going to happen.
Zephyr, you clear the door or clear that gate, and within about 5 seconds of you crossing through it, you hear a quick. That gate has now closed shut. And from at least Aiden and Zephyr, you're the ones closest to the gate. From this perspective, you don't have a means of opening it on the side.
Can he reach the handle at all on the other side there?
It's going to take some work if you can, but at least from this perspective, it doesn't, because it's a pulled back. You're going to have some way to actually force it that way. It won't be one that comes.
How good are you with that whip?
Bones.
I'm very good with the whip.
Can I grab a tibia and try and push that thing up there?
And what kind of tibia you think this is? You got Red's entire arm?
Also,
No,
that
no.
looks like you went down there, if I'm looking at this correctly.
Skeleton, like, right
There's a
here.
ladder.
Can I whip the shit out of it?
There is, in fact, as
Hold
you
on.
do.
Are we outstanding on air?
Well, I mean, your character token currently is.
Oh,
It doesn't illustrate as much, but you'd have seen some of the
a
accoutrement
pit.
here. But as you do, it is in fact, as you look around, there's light around the walls, but this is about a 2-wide path here, and this ladder takes you down about, you guesstimate, about 10 feet into a pit. There's no other entry that you can tell. It is just that ladder.
So was I actually able to see? Oh, wait.
You could, again, I'm going to kind of illustrate a little bit because I don't like that there's nothing here. In fact, you can see there's kind of blood spatter on this side. I would have expected the same over here, so that's why I kind of gave you a little bit of it.
Savvy. Okay. Well, you go with your elf self. If you want to head on down that way, go for it.
With your elf self.
I'm going to continue this walkway here and see. Is this the door here?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there is a door.
I don't know why I'm
Yeah,
down there. I apologize.
Let me illustrate the rest of the room for you guys, or at least the parts that you guys are able to see where you're at. You two see a gate on this side.
Can
on the
I,
far side, anyway.
Kodu, can I strike up a torch and toss it down into the... Can we see into the pit? Or is it just pitch
Yeah,
black?
you notice that there's, at least on that far side, there's a little bit of a torch here.
lit in here.
I keep shaking my mouse as if you could see my screen. There is a torch there.
Yeah.
It's not brightly lit, but you can kind of generally tell as you look down. You see scattered bones, broken weapons, skulls, remains of all kinds of things. Specifically, for those of you, you kind of see in the middle of this room, there is that post, and it looks like something is tied or leaning against it.
I'm gonna call over to Red and say, hey, it could be a clue.
It's a rancor pit.
Let me
And
check
point
this
down
gate
at it.
first.
All right, I'll point that I've kind of given a little more of a view. At least you can tell that those gates, all three of them, open
If
up that way.
there's a person down there, and of course Rasmus can see him, dark vision, he's gonna go down and check on him.
Don't do it.
No, don't. Okay.
That's just
As he's going down there, like Bjorn's just shaking his head, going, "All right, all right."
that's what my character would do, man.
All right, well, I'm gonna note that for
That's
Red.
how he respond.
Red, as you start walking down the walkway, you can't necessarily tell the direction from which it comes, but you can kind of see all three of these gated areas, and you hear groaning of some kind.
Hate that.
You kind of hear something, and you see, now you've kind of walked closer, you see there is also this gate here.
Is that gate
And I
up?
keep shaking. No, all three of them are at least currently show as closed. Like they're at least they're latched in your perspective.
Can I see anything inside of it?
Yeah, same on mine.
You at least, for your perspective right now, you see. Get this adjusted. You kind of see straight ahead with your torchlight. You can kind of see the room that way. And for Bjorn, if you were to do the same,
It's gonna be the same thing.
you see.
They cleverly made this map, so you. Yep.
Yep. Well, you
Stupid ass architecture. I don't like these architects. Very poorly done castles.
for Rasmus, as you make your way down, you kind of get yourself into the center of the room. As you descend that ladder and come closer, this entity looks closer to what you would have seen previously dangling from a ceiling than it does a present and clear-eyed human.
Ugh.
it reveals something akin to a zombie. You can see as you get closer to that it's got 2 or 3 arrows kind of embedded in it, and it's pretty beat up. Like it's not bleeding in the traditional sense, but it is worse for wear.
Wait, is
Okay,
it
but
sitting
they're-
there, or is it just on its torso, missing?
They're
the body?
tied. Whatever this is tied to that pillar, though.
Yes, it's
Okay.
at least secured to it.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, once I see that it's clearly not like someone in need of help, then yeah, obviously Rasmus is gonna bolster his shield up in front of him and try to examine this thing.
Aiden would put a hand on his shoulder, and when he looks back at him, kind of nod at him because he knows exactly. I think they're thinking the same thing. And is there like a pebble or something around me I can kind of toss at this little guy?
Just throw rocks at everything.
I mean, the fact,
Throw-
honestly,
throw a
Aiden,
bone at it.
with you joining alongside Rasmus, you both, as you approach it specifically, having both of your presence there, you see the zombie. Worse for it does not seem like it's very spirited, but it has enough to kind of stand up, and you can tell that its chains are to its wrists, but it has enough reach to kind of come out and extend to you about 5 feet. I do keep saying zombie. That's I can at least give you that's what that is.
Well, ask.
You've seen one now. You guys know what it is.
I want to ask Rasmus. With everything we've seen here, why would they keep this thing chained up down here?
That was my question. It wasn't my initial question. I was concerned that this was someone who needed our help. Now I'm starting to think that we may be the ones in need of help.
I'm gonna call up
Yes.
to everybody else. Hey, you guys.
And I
We
just
should.
kind of like,
I'm as he's doing that. I'm just like backing toward the ladder, going, "We should move."
Yep.
and I'm looking over the ledge here, going, "You always try to help people. This is not the place." And so I'm just kind of like waving them on, to like, "Come up here, come up here."
Well,
Yeah.
don't worry. Bjorn,
I guess I
you've
should
kind of
stay
left
here.
yours. You go that way. Alfred, it looks like you've left your place. As those two start to make their way toward the ladder, you kind of hear there's nothing much in the way of sound in this room other than kind of the echo of those chains as the zombie generally flails its arms, kind of not fully aware that Rasmus and Aiden are moving. But as that happens, you guys hear a couple more of those groans from those other spaces. You kind of poke your torch in, you hear that's where we cut it off.
Yeah.
It's zombie time.
It's
Oh.
zombie time.
Something seemingly is aware you're here.
I
Somebody's
think it's those
coming.
zombies that Kodu keeps talking about.
Somebody's coming.
Whoa!
It's
Whoa.
the Rancor.
So be good for goodness sake.
Whoa.
Ghostbusters, Mayor wants to see you. Our town's going crazy.
Don't ever call me the mayor from Jaws.
Never.
Never. All right. Thank you, folks, for listening to another edition of PZ85 Plays the Curse of Strahd on the Podzilla 1985 network. When next we join you next Tuesday, what comes from beyond the gates or what happens in this pit o' blood, we shall find out. But before we get to that, there's a few other episodes and endeavors to explore. So, Shannon, Hunter, you guys, what's up this week?
I don't know. I don't want to be here.
Cool. All right, Hunter, what's going on this week?
Well, so we did not have a new episode of anything yesterday, though we are planning a
We
new I Want to
forgot.
Believe in the near future. I didn't forget. I was just tired, man.
Well,
I'm not gonna
okay.
lie to you. I knew it was happening.
Hunter, to pull the curtain back a little bit, Tanner and I were both on, and we're both like, "Hey, are we doing a show tonight?" And we both went,
Well, I mean, I also was out of town. Like I was at the
That's
cast
true.
rap party
That's
for
true.
the play, and I didn't get home until 8:00.
That's
So
true. But
I'd been gone from 6 to 8. So nothing new yesterday, but yes, a new
tomorrow.
PW tomorrow.
yes, and I cannot say enough good things about. I know I've been quiet this whole show. I have a reason for that. But as far as the rest of the week goes,
Saving it up.
I cannot say enough good things about Monday Night Raw. I know it's kind of been a thing lately of, hey, Raw's gotten better since Triple H has taken over. Last night's Raw in particular had two of probably the best matches I have seen in years. And Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship, and Kevin Owens versus Drew McIntyre. Absolutely brought me back to how I felt when I was a kid, staying up way too late, talking to Lindsay on ICQ, telling her, "Hey, I got to go. Raw is on." It was
Yep.
great, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Yep, that's tomorrow. We got a new After Dark coming your way on Thursday. Lindsay, what's the topic this week?
It needs to be short and sweet because I have to be up at 4 a.m. because I have inventory on Friday.
Gross.
Ouch.
Yeah, we should do the whatever the list is and go straight to it. Just start at the list.
Just the list. Nothing.
So
but the
we'll
list.
find out.
You know why?
Maybe we'll do like a top 3.
You know why?
We could do those 3 wishes.
Because
there you go.
we covered the news last week on an all-new No Turning Back with Shannon Young that aired on Friday to make up for the fact that we didn't do the Thursday show.
Hell yeah.
So you can go back and listen to me talking about the dangerous precedent set by the Republican Party when it comes to targeting law enforcement because they are investigating the person that you support. It's a long story. Go back and listen to it. It's not that long. Unless you live into unless you're a fucking idiot, you already know what it's about.
So that's that.
Yeah.
And then Friday, is it horse time? It hasn't been horse time in a few Fridays.
It's always horse time in my heart. So yeah.
Me too.
Kaz?
It's a nice sentiment, but is there a show?
Kaz. That's a thumbs up.
Yes, yes.
That's
All
a
right.
verification.
The horse is right on Friday. We haven't done that in a while, so there you go. That's happening.
I got the perfect skit for us. It's about Instagram.
And then oh yeah, I know where this is going. And then we're back next week again. I think I don't know. I'll talk to you guys shortly, but maybe we could do I Want to Believe over the weekend sometime. That'd be nice. But that's happening, and then all these things, and then we're back. Plays next Tuesday. We'll find out. Well, I'll let Cody tell you.
Yeah, we'll find out what is making some noise in this
We'll
ominous
fuck around.
You're going to find out.
You can
y'all
catch
have
me.
already fucked around. You shall now find out.
You can catch me downtown at the bar all weekend. I'm making rounds. Come
No.
see your boy. It's
No.
always a party. All right.
What does this
No.
mean? What is he talking about?
I don't know. But until
Mitch, you don't make any goddamn sense.
I'm not even going to let him go any further. Until next time, when we find our characters climbing out of fighting pit covered in blood, for Double H, Lindsay, Tanner, Shannon, and Kaz, I am your dungeon master, Cody Sandusky, saying until next time. Well, I was going to do the ICQ sound. My voice doesn't do that, so just picture. Oh.